right, so today for our math lesson, we are going to be building some arrays. We're going to make our very own arrays. So real quick before we start, remember, our goal is to be able to make an array with rows and columns and write our equations. So we're going to start with our review. Remember this word row. Row goes left to right, right? And then we have our column, which goes up and down. So when we put them together, we build our array. It's made up of rows and columns. And this is what we're going to be making today. All right? So here we go. We've got our 16 items and we're ready to start. It says create an array with 3 rows and 2 columns. So we need 3 rows. So 3 rows and 2 columns. That tells me that if I have 3 rows, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3. So make your 1, 2, 3 of your item on your desk or on your table. And then in each row, I need 2 because it says 2 columns. So when I make it, hopefully it's going to come up here. It looks something like this. This is my array of markers. I have 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, and 2 columns, 1, 2. So go ahead and make your array. 3 rows, 2 columns. So build your first array, 3 rows, 2 columns. Now on your assignment here in a little bit, you're going to have to write an equation. And you're not going to have to write an equation for both. You're going to have to write an equation for whichever way it tells you. So let's write an equation for the rows this time. Okay? So let's think about it. Rows. There are 1, 2, 3 rows. So let's look at the first row. Show me with your fingers. How many's in the first row? Right? So my first number is going to be a 2. Plus, here goes our equation. Here's our second row. Show me with your fingers again. How many's in that second row? So we need another 2 plus our third row, which also has 2 markers in it. So here's my equation for the number of rows. I have 2 plus 2 plus 2, which means I have an answer of, count by 2s, 2, 4, 6. So there is my array that I've built. It has 3 rows and 2 columns, and here is my equation for the number of rows. Right? Let's try another array here. This time, let's build an array. Oh, sorry. There we go. This time it says create an array with 2 rows and 5 columns. So 2 rows. So 1, 2. So put your items in 2 rows. And then we're going to put 5 in each column. So this row needs 5, right? Because we're going to make 5 columns. So in your top row, put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in your second row, put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So your array will end up looking something like this. This is my array of crowns that I made. So 2 rows and 5 columns. So I built 2 rows and 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns, 4 columns, 5 columns. All right, take a look. See if your array looks like Miss Hunter's. And then we'll be ready to write our equation. I'll give you just a second to make your array. So 2 rows, 5 columns. All right, this time let's write an equation for our columns. Remember, columns go up and down, right? So let's look at our array. Look at the first column. Show me with your fingers. How many are in that first column? Right? So I'm going to start with the number 2 because my first column has 2. Plus, look at my second column. There are 2 in that one. Plus, my third column has 2. Plus, my fourth column has 2. Plus, my fifth column has 2. Remember, if we make an equation for an array, I have to use the same number over and over and over again. I can't do 2 plus 5 plus 5 plus 2 plus 5. That won't be an equation for an array. It has to be the exact same number over and over again, okay? This is my column equation. So this is my column equation because I looked at how many was in the first column, how many's in the second column, how many's in the third column. All right, we got to count by 2s. Ready? Count with me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We used 10 of our items to build this array. Very good. All right, let's try another array. We use that number 2 a lot. We use it in this one and in that one. All right, how about this one? All right, here's what it says. Create an array with 4 rows this time and 4 columns. So we're going to do 4 rows and put 4 in each row. So make your 4 rows with 4 in each row. Four rows with 4 in each row. When you have yours done, you can take a look at mine to see if your array and my array matches. I made an array here with my Unifix cubes. This is what we would have been making our arrays with if you would have been at school this week. We would have used our cubes, our linking cubes. So 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, when we make an array, we keep it in rows and columns. Okay? 4 rows, 4 columns. All right, this time let's write an equation for the number of columns again. All right, so show me with your arms. Which way do columns go? Columns go up and down, right? Columns are up and down. So here we go. Let's look up and down. How many's in this one? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so my first number's got to be 4. Plus, how many's in the second column again? 4. Has to be 4. Plus, here goes my third column again. Got to be a 4 if I made an array. Plus, my last column of 4. Right? So here's my equation for the columns. Now, if the number of columns and the number of rows are the same, actually your row equation and your column equation would be the same too. But in this case, we wanted to know the number of columns. What would our equation be? And this is what it would look like. All right, so we go to add. 4 plus 4 is 8, which is a doubles fact we should know from last week's practice. And here's another 4 plus 4 is 8. So we can add 8 plus 8 and get 16. If you can't remember your doubles facts, you're always welcome to count up. And that'll be a way you can check and see if you got your doubles factor right. Okay? Because our 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 should give us 16. All right, let's try another one. Let's clear off that array and let's build a new one. How about an array that looks like this? 5 rows and 3 columns. So you're going to make 5 rows and you need 3 in each row. 5 rows and 3 in each row. 5 rows and 3 in each row. You can check yours with mine. I made an array here with pencils. 5 rows and 3 in each column. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows and 1, 2, 3 columns. Remember, your rows should be side by side because it's an array, and your columns are going to be standing on top of each other because they go up and down. Okay? 5 rows and 3 columns. All right. And now we're going to write our equation. Let's see. Let's write a row equation this time since we did column last time. Let's do rows. All right. So here we go. Row 1. Show me with your fingers. How many are in your row 1? There should be 3 in row 1, right? 1, 2, 3. So we would have 3 plus, now we got to look at row 2. We should also have 3, right? This is an array. So we're going to use the same number over and over and over again. All right, so row 1, row 2, I did that. Now ready for row 3. That's got to be 3 too. Row 4, I need another 3. And row 5, I need another 3. Remember, an equation for an array is got to be the same number over and over and over again. We can't use a different number in there. Okay, now we got to add this up. We can count by 3s if you know how to do that. Or we could think, 3 plus 3 is 6. 3 plus 3 is 6. Well, 6 plus 6 makes 12. And now I need to add on 3. 13, 14, 15. You can also count them up if you need to check yourself and make sure you've added correctly, okay? You can always count them up after you draw them or create your array. Right? So this is our equation for the number of rows. Remember, every array would have 2 equations. It would have a row equation, and it would also have a column equation. On your assignment here in a little bit, though, it's going to tell you, okay, which one's the row equation? Which one's the column equation? So that's why we're not doing both. I want you to make sure you can think about which one is rows, which one are my columns, okay? All right, let's practice another. Whoops, let me get rid of that equation. Okay, here's our new array. Ready? We're going to build an array that looks like this. 6 rows. It's a lot of rows, but look, only 2 columns. So we're going to make 6 rows. Remember, rows go this way, but only 2 columns. So your 6 rows only have 2 in each. So make your 6 rows. You're going to go by 2s, though. And here's mine. I have stickers. I have 6 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And only 2 stickers go in each row. Go ahead and create your array. 6 rows and 2 in each row. So you've got your 2 columns going down. All right, this time, let's do a column equation. Let's do a column equation for our number of columns. Show me with your arms. Which way did the columns go? Which way did they go? Up and down, right? So we've got to look up and down. Let's look. How many is in this first column? Show me with your fingers. 6. That's a lot, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my first number is going to be 6 plus, look at my second column. What would it be again? Got to be 6, right? Because I have to use the same number over and over again. So I've got 6 plus 6. Ooh, that's a double fact. 6 plus 6 makes 12. So I have 12 stickers, or you have 12, whatever you've used to make your array. Very good. So we've made an array out of the columns. All right. Now we could also make an array equation for the rows, but that would have to look a little different because each row has 2 in it, right? So we would need like 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. But we should get the same answer, shouldn't we? Because I didn't change the number of items there. All right. Very good. All right, let's build another array. Let's try this one. Create an array with 2 rows. So only 2 rows, but it says 7 columns. So that means we need 7 in each row. So 2 rows and 7 in each of those rows. So I have an array of dice here. You make your array with your object. Or if you're just drawing it, you can draw it too. 2 rows and 7 columns. My columns are pretty tiny, but they're there. So 2 rows, 1, 2, 7 columns. Right? 2 rows, 7 columns. All right, are we ready for our equations? This time, let's do another column equation. Which way do columns go again? Show me with your arms. Columns go this way, right? So we're going to look at our number up and down. So here we go, up and down. 1, 2. Oh, I need a 2. Plus, here's my next column, up and down. 1, 2. Plus my third column, up and down. 1, 2. Man, this one has a lot of columns. Up and down. 1, 2. Let's see. Column 1, 2, 3, 4. Column 5 has 2 as well. Column 6 has 2 as well. And column 7 has 2. We have 7 number 2s because we had 7 columns. All right, now we got to count by 2s to solve. Ready? Help me count by our 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. There are 14 of your items in this array. That's the number of columns. Now, we could have made a much shorter equation if we did rows, couldn't we have? Because if we did rows, row 1 had 7, Row 2 had 7, and we know 7 plus 7 is 14. So that would give us our answer as well. All right? So make sure you have your equation written. And we are ready for our Schoology assignment.